All right, so get this. We're diving into the life of Cristiano Ronaldo. You- You're the guy who went from kicking a ball around a tiny island to becoming like a global football superstar. We've got 3 YouTube videos about his life that you sent over, and trust me, there's some fascinating stuff in here.
Yeah, it really is amazing to see how he just shattered expectations every step of the way. It wasn't just raw talent. His journey from Madeira to global icon is like a masterclass in resilience.
Okay, so Madeira. This isn't exactly a breeding ground for football legends, is it?
Not exactly. I mean, think about it. Back in the 80s, Madeira was worlds away from the fame and fortune we associate with Ronaldo today. Tight-knit community, tough living, and definitely not a place you'd expect a global icon to come from.
But this is where Ronaldo's love for the beautiful game took root, right?
Yeah.
His dad was the kit man at the local club Andorinha, and little Ronaldo practically lived on that pitch.
Exactly. And those early years were crucial. One of the videos even mentions his godfather, Fernando Sousa, who was a youth coach at another club national in.
So it wasn't just natural talent, but people recognizing it early on. And that connection with his godfather seems key. The videos say Ronaldo ended up at National in exchange for 2 sets of kits and 20 footballs.
Can you imagine that? A future Ballon d'Or winner traded for some basic equipment. It really highlights how informal scouting was back then. They saw something special, even if finances played a role.
And once he was at National, it's like Ronaldo shifted into overdrive.
Yeah.
The videos mention him training for like 10 to 12 hours a day, constantly honing his skills. This wasn't just messing around, it was pure dedication.
Oh, absolutely. But even with that dedication, he faced challenges. The coach is worried about his diet, and there's even a mention of him needing heart surgery as a kid.
Heart surgery, seriously. That's a massive obstacle, especially for someone so young and
It
ambitious.
really is a testament to his resilience. Ronaldo's story is full of moments where he faced setbacks, but he always bounced back stronger.
So he's tearing it up in Madeira, but how does a kid from this tiny island get noticed by one of Europe's biggest clubs, Sporting Lisbon?
That's where the story gets interesting. So John de Freitas, the president of Sporting's fan club in Madeira, had connections with their scouts. That's how Ronaldo, at just 12 years old, got a trial at Sporting's prestigious academy.
A 12-year-old all alone trying out for a top-tier academy on the mainland. Talk about pressure.
And here's where Ronaldo's personality beyond just his talent comes in. The scouts were blown away by his confidence and determination, seeing him as a natural leader even at that age.
So he aces the trial, and I doubt Sporting let him go for another bargain basement price this time.
Well, not quite. So National actually owed Sporting money from a previous transfer, and they offered Ronaldo to settle the debt, the price tag. A hefty 25,000 euros for a 12-year-old.
Wow, they must have seen something truly extraordinary to invest that much in someone so young. But academy life wasn't a walk in the park, was it?
Not at all. Ronaldo faced a whole new set of hurdles in Lisbon.
Yeah.
Homesickness, a different dialect, and even having to play with older age groups because there wasn't a group that fit his exact age.
So not only the pressure of proving himself at a top academy, but also the personal challenges of adapting to a new environment far from home.
Exactly. And remember that heart condition. It resurfaced at Sporting, forcing him to undergo surgery in 2000. Talk about bad luck.
But he pushed through it all, which is remarkable. Every obstacle seemed to fuel his determination.
Absolutely. He was clearly driven, but his early days at Sporting weren't without criticism. Laszlo Belloni, Sporting's manager, had some interesting observations about his style of play.
Oh, this should be good. What did Bologna think of a young Ronaldo?
Well, Belloni acknowledged his talent, but his report also pointed out weaknesses. He said Ronaldo had weak aerial ability, poor defensive technique, was physically weak, lacked tactical awareness, was selfish, and lacked composure and focus. Basically all the things Ronaldo later mastered in his career.
It's almost comical hearing that now knowing what he achieved, it's a complete reversal of his strengths.
What's fascinating is that even with these criticisms, Belloni saw enough potential to eventually give Ronaldo his professional debut.
So even with those perceived flaws, the raw talent was too much to ignore. Tell us about that debut. How did Ronaldo finally break into Sporting's first team?
Well, it wasn't immediate. He spent time in the academy, even playing across different age groups to showcase his versatility. Belloni was hesitant because Ronaldo loved to showboat, trying flashy tricks that weren't exactly team-oriented.
The classic style over substance issue you often see with young, talented players.
Yeah.
But Bologna eventually caved right.
He did. With Sporting's main striker Mario Jardel on his way out, Belloni saw an opportunity. He even hyped Ronaldo up to the press, saying he'd be better than Figo and Paletta, two Portuguese legends.
Talk about setting the bar high. That's a lot of pressure for a young player.
No kidding. But Ronaldo rose to the occasion. He scored his first professional goal in a friendly against Real Betis and made his official debut against Inter Milan in the Champions League qualifiers. He even bagged his first league goal against Moreirense in October 2002.
So he's scoring goals, making headlines, living up to the hype. It sounds like the Ronaldo we all know was starting to emerge.
He was definitely on the right path. His performances attracted attention from several big European clubs. Valencia, Liverpool, Inter Milan, Juventus, Parma, Barcelona, even Arsenal.
Wow, that's quite a list. It's amazing to think so many top clubs were already after him at such a young age.
It speaks volumes about his rapid rise. And speaking of Arsenal, they came incredibly close to signing him. Ronaldo even visited their training facilities and met with Arsene Wenger and Thierry Henry.
Wait, he almost went to Arsenal. That would have rewritten Premier League history. What happened?
Apparently, Arsenal agreed on everything with Sporting, but couldn't meet their asking price. They offered a lower fee, and the deal fell apart.
Unbelievable. Just imagine Ronaldo in that iconic red and white kit. But fate had other plans. Another English giant, Manchester United, stepped in.
And it all came down to a preseason friendly between Sporting and Manchester United in August 2003. The match was to celebrate the opening of Sporting's new stadium, the Estadio José Alvalade.
This is the legendary match where Ronaldo supposedly blew away the United players' right.
Right.
The one that convinced Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him on the spot.
That's the one. John O'Shea, a seasoned United defender, was completely outclassed by Ronaldo. The story goes that at halftime, the United players were begging Ferguson to sign him.
I can only imagine the scene in that dressing room. Boss, you have to sign this kid. He's unbelievable.
The buzz around Ronaldo was real. Even George Best, a Manchester United legend, said Ronaldo's performance was one of the most exciting he'd ever seen. That's high praise.
So Ferguson, being the astute manager he was, wasn't going to miss this opportunity. He swooped in and signed Ronaldo for a then-record fee of $12.2 million.
It's important to note that this wasn't just a whim based on one performance. Manchester United's assistant manager, Carlos Queiroz, whose Portuguese had been tracking Ronaldo for a while. They even had a special agreement with Sporting to share training methods and facilitate future deals.
So there's a plan in place, a connection already established. It wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment decision. Ferguson recognized the potential and made sure he got his man.
Precisely. And the pressure was immense. Ronaldo was given the iconic number 7 shirt previously worn by legends like Beckenbauer and Cantona. Talk about big shoes to fill.
I bet stepping into that legacy at such a young age must have been daunting. And it's not like he immediately set the Premier League on fire, right? There were some growing pains along the way.
Absolutely. Ronaldo's early days at United were a mixed bag. He showed flashes of brilliance, but he was also criticized for overplaying his lack of defensive effort and, well, his tendency to go down a little too easily.
Ah, the infamous diving accusations. It seemed like every time Ronaldo went down, it became a national debate.
It was a constant point of contention, but even amidst the criticism, you could see glimpses of the player he would become. His work ethic was undeniable, and he was clearly dedicated to improving.
And let's not forget his incredible free kick ability. He scored his first United goal from a free kick against Portsmouth, setting the stage for some truly spectacular set pieces throughout his career.
Those free kicks became his trademark. He developed this unique knuckleball technique, hitting the ball in a way that made it dip and swerve unpredictably. Goalkeepers had never seen anything like it.
It's like he reinvented the art of taking free kicks. He was always innovating, pushing the boundaries of what was possible on the pitch. But those early seasons weren't just about individual brilliance. He was part of a team that was going through a transition.
Indeed. The team was rebuilding after losing key players like Beckham and Keane. There were growing pains, and it took time for Ronaldo to find his place in that evolving system.
Let's talk about those early seasons in a bit more detail. What were some of the key moments, the highs and lows, that shaped Ronaldo's development at Manchester United?
Well, one of the early highs was winning the FA Cup in his first season, 2003-2004. He scored in the final against Millwall, showing he could deliver in big games.
Winning a major trophy so early in his United career must have been a huge confidence boost.
It was a sign of things to come, but the following season was tougher. Ronaldo was sent off for a reckless challenge, made an inappropriate gesture towards opposing fans, and even faced a sexual assault accusation, though the case was later dropped.
Sounds like things were getting a bit messy off the pitch, and that must have affected his game.
Definitely. His performances were inconsistent, and he clashed with teammate Ruud van Nistelrooy, who wasn't a fan of Ronaldo's tendency to hold onto the ball for too long.
Classic clash of egos. The prolific goal scorer versus the flamboyant winger.
Exactly. And the team as a whole was struggling. They finished third in the league behind a dominant Chelsea and got knocked out of the Champions League in the round of 16. It was a frustrating period.
But even with the turmoil, there was another FA Cup final appearance in 2005, this time against Arsenal, a team Ronaldo had scored 2 goals against earlier that season.
Right, and it was a nail-biter that went to penalties. Sadly, Ronaldo missed his penalty and United lost. It must have been a tough pill to swallow, especially after their progress in the competition.
It seems like those early seasons were a roller coaster for Ronaldo. Moments of brilliance, mixed with inconsistency, controversy, and a sense of unfulfilled potential.
That's a great way to put it. It was a period of adaptation, of learning and growing as both a player and a person. And it all set the stage for what was to come in 2006, the World Cup, the infamous wink incident, and a turning point in Ronaldo's Manchester United career.
That World Cup was pivotal. It almost divided his time at United into before and after.
Absolutely. The incident with Wayne Rooney in the quarterfinal against England changed everything. It became a media frenzy, and Ronaldo became public enemy #1 in England.
The wink scene around the world. That's a story that deserves its own deep dive.
Agreed. Next time, we'll unpack the World Cup saga, the backlash, and how Ronaldo defied the odds to come back stronger than ever. Welcome back to our deep dive into Cristiano Ronaldo's incredible journey. So last time we kind of left off with Ronaldo facing a mountain of pressure after that 2006 World Cup. You know, that infamous wink after Rooney got the red card during the England-Portugal match? Well, that made him public enemy #1 for a lot of English fans.
Oh yeah, it was a defining moment. A wink heard around the world that could easily ended his career. Going back to Manchester United after that must have been so tough.
Oh, the hostility was off the charts. The media had a field day, and even some United fans turned against him. It was a PR nightmare, and Ronaldo seriously considered leaving.
I can't blame him. Going from fan favorite to villain overnight is a lot to handle, but I have a feeling he didn't back down from the challenge.
You're right. Ronaldo, never one to shy away from a fight, decided to stay at United. But it wasn't just about toughing it out. There was a calculated strategy at play.
Intriguing. What kind of strategy? A charm offensive? A public apology tour?
Nothing so dramatic. Sir Alex Ferguson, a master of managing both players and situations, saw an opportunity. He met with Ronaldo and his agent Jorge Mendes at Carlos Queiro's house and gave Ronaldo a pep talk for the ages.
I love those behind-the-scenes stories about Ferguson's leadership. What did he say to Ronaldo?
He appealed to Ronaldo's pride and challenged him to prove the doubters wrong. He even compared it to David Beckham's experience after the 1998 World Cup. Remember when Beckham was vilified for his red card against Argentina but came back stronger than ever?
So instead of avoiding the controversy, Ferguson used it to fuel Ronaldo's fire. That's brilliant.
It was, and it worked. Ronaldo returned to United with renewed focus and determination. Ferguson even fostered a us-against-the-world mentality within the team, using the external pressure to unite the players.
Classic Ferguson, creating a siege mentality to get the best out of his team.
Exactly, and it had an instant impact. The opening match of the 2006-2007 season against Fulham was a media circus. All eyes were on Ronaldo and Rooney, looking for any sign of tension.
That match must have been electric, with everyone watching their every move.
The tension was palpable, but United dominated Fulham with a 5-1 win. Ronaldo didn't score, but his commitment to the team was clear.
So he silenced the critics with his performance, showing that he wouldn't be defined by the World Cup saga.
Precisely. And that season marked a shift in Ronaldo's game. He became more efficient, more team-oriented, less reliant on flashy individual skills.
So a transformation from showman to game changer. Still dazzling, but with a purpose.
Exactly. He started passing more quickly, taking fewer touches, making smarter decisions in the attacking third. His understanding of the game had evolved.
And the goals started flowing right. He finally broke the 20-goal mark that season.
He did, and he reached another milestone, his 50th goal for Manchester United. His confidence was soaring, and he played with a swagger we hadn't seen before.
And the recognition followed. He won both the PFA Player of the Year and the PFA Young Player of the Year awards. That hadn't been done since Andy Gray in 1977.
It showed how far he'd come. He'd won over fans, media, and even his fellow players with his performances. Cristiano Ronaldo had truly arrived.
But he wasn't done yet. He was just getting started.
True. The 2007-2008 season was Ronaldo's breakout year. A season of broken records, trophies, and individual brilliance that cemented his place among the world's best.
Let's delve into that magical season. What were the key highlights? What transformed him from a great player into a global superstar?
Well, it all started with a bit of a hiccup. Ronaldo got sent off in the second league match against Portsmouth for a headbutt, earning a 3-match ban.
That fiery temper flaring up again.
Uh,
But it sounds like even this incident was turned into a positive.
You're absolutely right. During his suspension, Ronaldo worked closely with United's assistant manager, Rene Meulenstein, to refine his game. They analyzed his previous matches, focusing on his movement, his finishing, and his decision-making in the final third.
So a period of intense introspection and tactical development.
Exactly. Meulenstein encouraged Ronaldo to set a goal target for the season. Ronaldo boldly predicted 30-35 goals. But Meulenstein believed he was capable of even more, suggesting a target of 40.
Ambitious. And did Ronaldo rise to the challenge?
He did spectacularly. When he returned from suspension, he went on a scoring spree, surpassing his previous season's goal tally by January.
Incredible. What changed in his game? Was it just confidence, or were there specific tactical adjustments that led to this explosion of goals?
It was a combination of things. He became more clinical in front of goal, his movement was sharper, and he had developed this knack for being in the right place at the right time. One of the YouTube videos you provided shows a perfect example of this. In a match against Aston Villa, Ronaldo makes a run that seems completely pointless at first. He's not even in the camera frame initially. But as the play develops, he ghosts in from the blind side and ends up tapping in a cross for an easy goal. This is a level of anticipation and off-the-ball movement that he hadn't consistently displayed before.
So it was about transforming from a talented winger who could score to an attacker who lived and breathed goals.
Exactly. And this season, he also scored his first hat-trick for the club, a sign of his growing influence.
He's scoring for fun, breaking records left and right, carry United on his back. This is the season he truly became a global icon.
Absolutely. And his dominance was reflected in the awards he won. He earned his first Ballon d'Or, finishing ahead of Lionel Messi and Fernando Torres.
It's amazing that at 23, he already reached the pinnacle of individual recognition in football. But it wasn't just about personal glory. He played a crucial role in United's team success that season.
Indeed, United won the Premier League title, ending Chelsea's reign. And then there was the Champions League, a trophy that had eluded them since 1999.
That Champions League run was something special, wasn't it? They faced some tough opponents along the way.
They did. They overcame Lyon in the round of 16, then defeated Roma in the quarterfinals.
And then came the clash of the Titans, Barcelona, led by a young Lionel Messi in the semifinals.
The first time Ronaldo and Messi faced each other in a competitive match with so much on the line.
What a matchup. Two future legends going head-to-head on the biggest stage. How did it play out?
The first leg at Camp Nou was a tense 0-0 draw. Ronaldo missed a penalty early on, but United held strong.
All to play for in the second leg at Old Trafford then.
And it was Paul Scholes who scored the decisive goal, a stunning long-range strike that sent United to the final in Moscow.
I remember that goal, pure magic that sent Old Trafford into a frenzy.
It set up a final against Chelsea, a rematch of the Premier League title race.
That final was a classic, wasn't it? A tense back-and-forth battle between two English giants.
It had all-goals drama controversy and ultimately a penalty shootout. Ronaldo scored a brilliant header in the first half, but Frank Lampard equalized for Chelsea. The match went all the way to penalties.
And wouldn't you know it, Ronaldo missed his penalty in the shootout? But United still won thanks to John Terry's slip and Edwin van der Sar's save on Nicolas Anelka's penalty.
A roller coaster of emotions for Ronaldo. The joy of scoring in a Champions League final, the agony of missing a crucial penalty, and then the ecstasy of lifting the trophy.
It's almost poetic, isn't it? He missed the penalty, but his team won. It shows that despite his individual brilliance, he was ultimately a team player.
Exactly. And that season, he achieved the ultimate double, the Premier League title and the Champions League trophy. It was a culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of excellence.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're wrapping up our exploration of Cristiano Ronaldo's incredible journey. We left off with him riding high after that historic Champions League win with Manchester United back in 2008.
He was on top of the World Champions League trophy in hand, Ballon d'Or winner. You'd think he'd be happy to stay at Old Trafford and build a dynasty.
Yeah, you'd think so, right? But that's not how Ronaldo operates. His ambition, that relentless drive to push himself further, took him to a new challenge. Real Madrid.
The allure of Real Madrid is hard to resist, the Galacticos, the Bernabeu, even for a player who had seemingly achieved it all.
For those not familiar with the term Galacticos, it refers to Real Madrid's policy of signing the biggest and most expensive stars in the world.
Yeah.
It created this aura of glamour and dominance that few clubs could match.
Exactly, and you could sense that Ronaldo had unfinished business in Spain, a desire to conquer La Liga and test himself against the very best.
Not to mention the years of rumors about a potential move to Real Madrid. It felt almost inevitable.
It did, and in the summer of 2009, it finally happened. Real Madrid under President Florentino Perez smashed the world transfer record. They paid a mind-blowing 80 million for Ronaldo.
80 million pounds.
Yeah.
That's an astronomical sum, even by today's standards. It shows how much they valued Ronaldo and the impact they expected him to make.
It was a statement signing. Real Madrid was building a new era of Galacticos, and Ronaldo was the centerpiece. The pressure was immense, but as always, he thrived on it.
It's like pressure fuels him, pushes him to new heights.
That's been a constant throughout his career.
Yeah.
And his first season at Real Madrid, while trophyless, was still a showcase of his individual brilliance.
He scored over 33 goals, which is phenomenal for any player, especially one adapting to a new league and team.
Absolutely. And that season also marked the beginning of his epic rivalry with Lionel Messi. Messi was tearing up La Liga with Barcelona. It was a clash of titans, two of the greatest players of all time pushing each other to be even better.
The Ronaldo-Messi rivalry is legendary. It dominated football for over a decade. It's arguably the greatest individual rivalry in sports history.
It's hard to argue with that. They were constantly trying to outdo each other, breaking records, winning trophies, captivating fans worldwide with their skill.
Let's get back to Ronaldo's Real Madrid journey.
Yeah.
Did he break that trophy drought in his second season?
He did, and in spectacular fashion, the 2010-2011 season saw Ronaldo return to his Ballon d'Or winning form. He scored an incredible 60 goals in all competitions.
60 goals. That's insane. He was averaging more than a goal per game.
It shows his incredible consistency and his hunger for goals. And it's worth noting that he wasn't just a winger cutting inside and shooting from distance anymore. He had evolved into a complete forward scoring from every angle, headers, volleys, free kicks, tap-ins, you name it.
He was a goal-scoring machine. And that season, Real Madrid finally broke Barcelona's grip on La Liga. They won their first league title since 2008.
It was a hard-fought victory, and Ronaldo was instrumental. He scored 40 goals and shattered the La Liga scoring record in the process.
So he conquered La Liga, added another Ballon d'Or to his collection, and was scoring goals at an unbelievable rate. What else was there to achieve at Real Madrid?
The Champions League, of course, that elusive trophy that had haunted Real Madrid since 2002.
And Ronaldo was determined to win it again to prove he could conquer Europe with another team in another league.
Absolutely. And his desire to win the Champions League with Real Madrid led to one of the most memorable moments of his career, his stunning overhead kick goal against Juventus in the quarterfinal of the 2018 competition.
Oh man, that goal was pure magic. It defied physics and any expectation of what a human could do with a football. Even the Juventus fans gave him a standing ovation.
It was a moment of genius. It encapsulated everything that makes Ronaldo special: his athleticism, his technique, his audacity, and his unwavering belief in himself.
And that goal wasn't just a highlight reel moment. It propelled Real Madrid to the semifinal against Bayern Munich.
They edged out Bayern in a close tie, setting up a final against Liverpool and Kiev.
That final was epic. Real Madrid won 3-1, with Ronaldo playing a key role. He lifted his fifth Champions League trophy, a record for any player.
And let's not forget the controversy surrounding that final. Remember when Liverpool's star player Mohamed Salah was injured in a challenge with Sergio Ramos? Some people blamed Ramos for intentionally injuring Salah, which added another layer of drama to the bag.
It certainly did. But in the end, Real Madrid emerged victorious, and Ronaldo cemented his place in Champions League history.
It was the culmination of an extraordinary journey at Real Madrid. 4 Champions League titles, 5 Ballon d'Ors, countless goals, and a legacy that will never be forgotten.
But Ronaldo's story didn't end there. In the summer of 2018, after 9 incredible seasons at Real Madrid, he made another unexpected move, this time to Juventus.
It was another bold decision. At 33 in age, when most players are thinking about retirement, he embraced a new challenge in a new league. It speaks volumes about his longevity and his drive to keep pushing boundaries.
He's redefining what it means to be a professional athlete, showing that age is just a number if you have the dedication and discipline to stay at the top of your game.
He's a true role model in that regard, and while his time at Juventus didn't bring another Champions League title, it further solidified his status as a global icon.
And his impact extends beyond the pitch. He's a savvy businessman, a philanthropist, and an inspiration to millions around the world.
Cristiano Ronaldo's story is about talent, hard work, ambition, resilience, and an unwavering pursuit of excellence. It's a story that has captivated fans for over 2 decades, and it's still being written.
Ronaldo's legacy is about more than just goals and trophies. It's about pushing limits, overcoming obstacles, and inspiring generations of players and fans.
His career has been nothing short of extraordinary. But as he enters the twilight years of his playing days, a question lingers. What will define his lasting impact on the world of football? Will it be his goal-scoring records, his countless trophies? Or will it be his unwavering commitment to excellence, his inspirational journey, and his dedication to giving back?
That's something to ponder. What stands out to you as the most remarkable aspect of his journey? Until next time, keep diving deep,